channel. As you can see, I'll be doing a full face routine for you guys. So first I'm going to take my Milani Prime Show Primer and I'm just going to apply that all over my face. Then I'm going to rub it in, making sure it's nice and even. And then after that, I'm just going to do one more pat down just to make sure it's all smooth all over my face. And then next I'm going to take my LA Girl Pro Concealer and I'm just going to be applying that all over my face, not everywhere, just in, under my eyes where I have some dark spots. My bags under the eyes, gotta conceal those bags, girl, okay? And then after I put it under my eyes, I'm just going to be taking the concealer and I'm going to be concealing any blemishes, red areas. Underneath my nose, I kind of have these red spots, so I put it under there. And then after I got it all over, I'm going to take my sponge and I'm just going to blend everything out. Trust me, during this whole video, you guys are going to see I am a blender. I like everything to be nice and smooth. I don't want anything to be cakey. Because when I apply my foundation, if I don't blend out my concealer good enough, it's just going to look like really piled on there, and you do not want that. So next I'm going to take my setting powder, and I do this step because I have really oily skin and it just helps me stay more matte throughout the day. So I'm just gonna apply that kind of in my T-zone. So I'm gonna apply it under my eyes, under my nose. I'm gonna put some on my chin. My chin gets super oily, so I have to make sure I get it on there. And then I'm gonna put some on my nose, between my eyebrows, and then a little bit on my forehead. So there's spots where I really get super oily. And not everybody has to do this. Like I said, I'm only doing it because I have oily skin and it helps me stay a little bit more matte throughout the day. All right, and then I'm going to take my foundation. This is my Milani foundation. It's Conceal and Perfect foundation. And I'm just going to shake that up. And I apply my foundation to the back of my hand before I apply it on my face. It's just a preference, just makes it easier for me. Then I'm going to take my foundation sponge. And when I apply my foundation, I like to apply it in kind of in sections. Like when you do your hair and you do it in sections, that's how I put my foundation on. So I'm gonna start and I'm just gonna pat it throughout that section, making sure it's nice and even. And when I put on my foundation, I always make sure that I put foundation on my eyelids as well, but that's only when I don't wear eyeshadow, because when I don't wear eyeshadow and I don't do that step, it just looks discolored. And then as you can see, I took my flat brush and I'm just gonna pat my foundation in. I do this step because it makes your foundation look more flat, almost like it's your actual skin instead of the foundation laying on top, over your skin. So that's just an extra step that I do to help my makeup not look as cakey. So yeah, it just pushes it more into your skin and just makes it lay way better. So I'm starting on this other side here, and I'm just gonna basically do the same thing as I did on the other side, making sure I get my eyelid, making sure everything's nice and smooth and even. I'm gonna take my flat brush and do the exact same thing. As you can see, I usually do in 3 sections. I'll do one side of my face, then the other side, then I'll start to go up my nose and start to get up in my forehead area. And I like to be careful not to get foundation in my hair. That used to be a big problem of mine. I used to hate getting foundation where I lay my edges. It just used to be a big mess. And I'm just gonna make sure I have everything perfect on there. I'm gonna take my flat brush and do the exact same thing. And then once I make sure everything's all nice and even, I'm going to take my foundation and put some on my neck. This is really important to me because you do not want your face and your neck to kind of they're color blocking each other. You want to make sure your neck and your face are the exact same color. Trust me, I see this way too much where people's face and neck are 2 different colors, and you don't want that, girl. So you want to make sure everything's nice and even. So make sure you get that neck. And then I'm gonna do one more pat down, just making sure everything's nice and smooth. And then after I'm all done with that, I'm just gonna go back and I'm gonna fix in my eyebrows. 9 times out of 10 when I do my foundation, I mess up my eyebrows. I get foundation in there, so I have to go back and just kind of refill them in so that they don't look, you know, a mess by the time I'm done. So I just have to go and make sure that my eyebrows are nice and smooth. Okay, and after that, I'm gonna take my NARS concealer and I'm gonna start my highlighting and contouring process. I'm gonna start putting that underneath my eyes, kind of like in like a, I wanna say like a cone or triangle type shape. Everybody, you know, contours and highlights differently. Like I said, this is just a preference for me, for my face shape personally. So I'm gonna take that and I'm gonna put it under my nose and on my chin as well. Then I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna put it on my nose. Sometimes I don't contour my nose, but for this video I was doing like a complete full face, so I decided to contour my nose for you guys. So I'm just gonna put a line all the way down my nose and I'm gonna put a little bit on my forehead as well. And then after that, I'm gonna go ahead and blend. And you wanna make sure this blends really smooth, because if you don't, for the next step, it's gonna make it look really harsh. So make sure you blend that out really nice. So then I take my setting powder again, and I'm just gonna put that right in the same spots where I put my concealer. And listen, I am a baker, honey. When I do this step, I really cake this setting powder on. Let me tell you, I just wanna bake for the gods, honey, okay? So I'm really gonna pack it on there, like I said, in the exact same spots, except the only thing that's different is when I go under my nose, I'm gonna connect it under my eyes. Then I'm gonna go ahead and do my nose, get my forehead there, okay. Then I'm gonna bake for a few minutes before I start the next step. I always like to sit and bake. As you can see, I'm doing a little jig singing for you guys. But anyway, after I let myself bake for a couple minutes, I'm gonna take my contour palette, which is my Anastasia Beverly Hills contour palette. And I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna start contouring. Now, when you do this step, some people like to go lighter, some people like to go darker. Like I said, I'm super extra, so I like to contour for the gods, okay? So I'm really gonna pack that contour on there, and it's going to look really harsh, probably around the time until I'm almost finished, because trust me, it's all about the blend. So as you can see, I'm still packing it on there, you guys. Then I'm gonna go ahead and get my forehead, just to make my forehead look a little smaller. You know, I'm a big forehead girl, so I gotta, you know, do what I can. So after I do that, I'm gonna take my setting powder again and I'm gonna go right under my contour, not too much, because I don't want that to be too harsh. Then I'm gonna start my blending process. As you can see, I'm going to blend out my setting powder here. And blending is so important, you guys. I cannot stress that enough, unless you want to look like a drag queen, which I mean, if you're a drag queen or you're going for the drag queen look, then by all means, keep those harsh lines, honey. But let me tell you, you need to blend for the gods. It's all in that flick of that wrist for the blend. And as you can see, it's one of those steps that takes some time, but trust me, it'll be worth it if you just want everything to look nice and smooth. Then I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna start contouring my nose. When I do this, everybody contours their nose differently. I guess it just depends on the shape of your nose and everything. I just like to do mine, you know, down the sides. I like to put a little line, like on the tip of my nose, almost underneath, I guess. And then I put like one little line across the bridge of my nose. It doesn't make my nose look really smaller. It just kind of like defines it more. And I like that defined nose kind of look. So then I'm gonna go ahead and blend this out here. And like I said, of course, this is a very important step because you do not want those super harsh lines, especially on your nose, ladies, because that's the first thing that somebody's going to notice. So just make sure you super blend. And after I'm done with my nose, I'm just gonna go back and, you know, perfect anything that I feel like I need to fix. And I'm going to let that set for a few minutes. Then I'm gonna go ahead and blend that. It's all in the blend, ladies, okay? And men, I don't discriminate. So we're just going to add a little bit more on my forehead there. And then I'm going to take my highlighter. And listen, you guys, I am a highlight whore, okay? When I put my highlighter on, I like to smile. I feel like it just helps me get it like in the right spots more. And like I said, I'm really gonna pack my highlighter on because I like to glow, honey. It's all about the glow. When that sun hits me, I wanna be like a disco ball, okay? Then I'm gonna use my finger to put it on the tip of my nose. I like the tip of my nose to really, really glow. So I like to really pack it on the tip of my nose, and I'm gonna put it like in between my eyes on my nose in that spot there. Then I'm gonna take my finger and I'm gonna put some on the apple of my cheeks. I use my finger for that part because it just makes it more pigmented than the brush. And like I said, I like my cheeks to glow, honey. It's all about the glow. Then after that, I'm going to take my eyeliner, and I suck at eyeliner really bad, which is crazy because I do my eyeliner every day, but I never get any better. But anyway, I'm going to do my dramatic winged eyeliner. And it takes me a minute, but eventually I get the eyeliner down pat. And once I have my eyeliner all good and ready to go, I'm gonna put on a light coat of mascara. And after I do that, I'm gonna put my lashes on, but I did that off camera because it just takes me so long and I didn't wanna add any extra time to the video that was unneeded. So after that, I'm all done besides my lashes and I'm ready to go.